Welcome to our video on solutions. Today, we are going to explore what solutions are and the different types that exist. This chapter is important for your G mains as one easy question comes from this and is relatively more easy than other physical chemistry chapters. Let's start from the basics. What is a mixture? In simple language, when we mix two or more things together, we call it a mixture. Now, you might have seen many mixtures in your life. But mainly there are two types of mixtures. Number one is homogeneous mixture. A homogeneous mixture is a mixture in which the things get dissolved together uniformly and no separation can be seen. Like when you mix sugar in a water glass, we can't see separation between them after mixing, right? Number two is heterogeneous mixture. A heterogeneous mixture is a mixture in which the things do not get dissolved together and separation can be seen. For example, when you mix oil with water, we see oil is floating above the water, a clear separation is seen. Now, let's understand what a solution is. A solution is a homogeneous mixture where two or more substances are combined, but they don't react chemically with each other. Now, when we talk about solutions, we usually have two main parts, the solute and the solvent. The solute is the substance that's present in smaller amounts, while the solvent is the substance that's present in larger amounts. For example, if you mix a spoonful of sugar in a glass of water, the sugar is the solute and the water is the solvent. Solutions can come in many forms. Let's look at some examples. First and the most common type of solution is solid-liquid solution, like this we already discussed. Here, sugar is solute and water is solvent. Now, you might have a misconception that water is always the solvent. Let's see another type. Liquid-liquid solution. Suppose we have a bottle of HCl and few drops of water mixed together. Both are liquids. Which one is the solvent here? Water is not the solvent here as it is in smaller amounts. Whatever is in larger amounts, that is the solvent. Let's look at other types of solutions. We can have solid-solid solutions like alloys. Brass is an example which is made of copper and zinc. Solid gas solutions like smoke and air. Liquid-solid solutions like jelly. Liquid gas solutions like moist air. Gas-solid solutions like hydrogen trapped in certain metals. Gas-liquid solutions like carbonated water. Gas-gas solutions like the air we breathe. Now, let's talk about how much solute a solution can hold. This brings us to three important types of solutions. Unsaturated solutions. Here dissolved solute is less than saturation point, therefore more solute can be dissolved. Saturated solutions. Here dissolved solute is at saturation point, therefore no more solute can be dissolved. Supersaturated solutions. Here dissolved solute is more than saturation point, therefore additional solute gathers at the bottom. Now, let's focus on a common type of solution, solids dissolved in liquids. The amount of solid that can dissolve in a liquid is called its solubility. This is usually measured as how many grams of the solid can dissolve in 100 grams of the liquid at a specific temperature. Interestingly, temperature affects solubility differently for different substances. For some substances, like potassium hydroxide or calcium oxide, as the temperature goes up, less of the substance can dissolve. We call these exothermic substances. For other substances, like table salt or sugar, as the temperature goes up, more of the substance can dissolve. We call these endothermic substances. Now, we are going to explore how gases dissolve in liquids. This is an important topic that helps us understand many things in our everyday life, from fizzy drinks to how fish breathe underwater. Let's start with how we measure the solubility of gases. We use something called the absorption coefficient. That is, the volume of the gas dissolved by 1 unit volume of solvent at a specific temperature and 1 atm pressure. Now, several factors affect how well a gas dissolves in a liquid. Temperature. Generally, as temperature goes up, gases become less soluble in liquids. Nature of the gas. Gases that can be easily turned into liquids, like carbon dioxide, are usually more soluble than gases that are harder to liquefy, like oxygen or nitrogen, as they contain higher value of van der Waals force of attraction. For example, SO2 and CO2 are more soluble in water than O2N2 and H2. Nature of the solvent. Gases which can be ionized in aqueous solution are more soluble in H2O as compared to the other solvents. Pressure of the gas. This brings us to an important rule called Henry's law. This law says that the amount of gas that dissolves in a liquid is directly related to the pressure of the gas above the liquid. In simple terms, more pressure means more gas dissolves. So, M is proportional to P. Henry's law is written as an equation, M is equal to Kp, where M is the mass of gas dissolved, P is the pressure of the gas, and K is a constant that depends on the specific gas and liquid. Or M by P is equal to K, H, at constant temperature, where P is equal to pressure of gas at equilibrium with solution. M is equal to the mass of gas dissolved by unit volume of solvent. Here K, H is equal to Henry's constant, function of nature gas. Therefore, solubility inversely proportional to K, H. However, Henry's law only works under certain conditions. The gas doesn't break apart or dissociate in the liquid. The pressure isn't too high. The gas isn't too soluble in the liquid. The temperature isn't too low. The gas doesn't react with the liquid, they should be inert. Now, let's look at some real-world applications of Henry's law. Soft drinks. Have you ever wondered why soda bottles are so pressurized? It's to keep more carbon dioxide dissolved in the liquid, making the drink fizzy. Scuba diving. Divers use a mix of oxygen and helium instead of regular air to avoid a painful condition caused by nitrogen dissolving in their blood at high pressures. High altitudes. At higher altitudes, where the air pressure is lower, there's less oxygen dissolved in our blood, which can make breathing difficult. That's it for today's video. Hope you learnt well about different types of solutions. We hope that you have understood the concept of solutions. Now, here's a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve G-level MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev. And that's not all, you also get amazing courses for chemistry and much more for your G preparation. Thank you.